Hey, it's Robert with Hush Performance. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate you coming along with us for our first modification of our CRX. If you had a CRX, what would your first modification be? Let us know in the comments below. Behind me, we got a 91 Honda CRX. Hey, I was actually able to find one. The week before I bought this one sold for $75,000 at auction. Mind-blowing. Who would have ever thought a CRX would go for that much? But the guy that I bought it from actually was completely aware. Well, I think I struck a deal considering. I do buy and sell a lot of cars, and I'm not one for negotiations. I just want them to tell me how much they want, and then I just decide right then and there whether it is gonna work for me or not. This guy's like, well, what do you think it's worth? Yeah, you know, I don't like to play that game. And he said, well, do you think 35 is fair? And this is before I saw the car, it was only pictures. And I'm like, I think that's decent, fair market value. And he's like, well, I'll send you plenty of pictures. I'm like, no, don't send me any pictures, I don't care, because at $3,500, I'm not interested. He's like, well, I gave a price to somebody else for 25, you know, to somebody I know, and I'm like, well, if that's my price, I'll take it sight unseen. I've been looking for a CRX. I've been needing one that had stock front end, stock hood, fenders, and that hasn't been crashed, and from what I could tell, this is basically it. Now, the rest of the car is kind of beat up. You know, we got a big old dent right here in the door. Most of the interior is there. We also have the rear interior, but it is like broken right there at the seam, and that's pretty typical. And then there's some cancer in the corner, like it's missing some trim up there. The rear quarter light is cracked. We got cancer over here in this corner. You know, but really, what do you expect to get these days? These are so old, and you got to remember, man, everybody wants a CRX if they can find one. I was looking for one that wasn't crashed up front, that had all OEM parts. The reason is because we are working on a billet hinge that has an integrated gas spring. This out right here, and this is our second version of this. So we've sold hundreds and hundreds of our first version. We added some new features in this one, and they're in production right now. And what is extra special about this is that it has an integrated stop right here. And what that stop's going to do is, if you're running hood spacers, which many of you are with a K-Series or maybe even H2B, billet hinges with the gas spring, you can limit its travel to alleviate the possibility of it crashing into the window. This video is actually based on the stock cable transmission. For those that are still running the stock D-Series, or at least the D16, this video is for you. Hey guys, we lost some footage explaining the part that we were replacing and coupling with these Hasport EF stock replacement mounts. This part that you're seeing right here replaces the OEM bracket that breaks all of the time. This is something that happens so often, and this is also a discontinued part that we produced our very own. What ends up happening is this bracket breaks. It's super thin sheet metal, and what I believe happens is there's a bolt that goes underneath that it hits this stud right here on this motor mount. That nut falls off, and because it's a blind look, you can't really see it unless you get underneath the car or feel for it. Once the nut comes out, you're left with just one bolt. That bolt will last as long as how you drive, really, or how many motor mounts you have on the car. You'll be stuck with the one thread right here on this bracket and then none on the other side, or vice versa. But in most cases, it's going to be this back one, and this whole bracket ends up cracking or breaking, and then you're stuck having to find another used one. This is a discontinued part that you'll no longer be able to get, but we have this guy right here that will help you out when you need it. With the air box and battery out of the way, you can see the mount that I'm referring to. This is the bracket that bolts to the transmission, and so how we're looking at it is like this. We have a bolt that comes and threads into the top of the mount, and that's the one that you see there. And then behind these cables is the stud that goes down through here. And on the other side, it just meets to another nut. I'm going to support the transmission with the jack. I'm just going to slide it underneath the car. I'm not going to hold the transmission up while I work on that mount there. Yo, you can't make this stuff up, man. I have not touched this car yet. I have not done any service on this car yet. And as I jacked up the transmission, and I'm deciding how I'm going to record getting that nut that goes underneath this bracket right here, okay? Well, I'm feeling for it, just on the other side here, and the nut is gone, dude. Like, it's already missing, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. We don't even know if this one on here is broken or not, so we're about to find out. There's the stud on the other side that I was speaking of, and so for some reference, it comes out like this. The stud's there, you flip it around, and then you see there. Guys that could be experiencing this might only be running 3 mounts we'll just take that off. There's only 3 bolts right here at top. 1, 2, 3. And those are the factory bolts, should be a 14mm head. Taking a look at the fail point, it's really thin sheet metal that the stud thing goes in through. Just couldn't see myself creating a part that would also give us the same issues. So we made sure that we got that thing super beefed up here. Our new bracket goes on like a stock replacement. It just bolts on. It's going to come with its own hardware, and now I'm going to couple it with the Hasport mount right here, and it's done. Ideally, this is an upgrade for those that are just all out. You know, we just emphasize the fact that we are enthusiasts, and those that are building a high performance car or spirited driving, generally speaking, are using replacement mounts like the one that you see here. And essentially this one is designed to do that. Now you can use a stock mount, you just need to modify it. The stud on the mount needs to be removed. They use some kind of heat treatment. It doesn't appear to be welded, but the stud's difficult to get out. And then there's a lip right here on the edge that you'll need to take down if you want to use this as a stock replacement. It didn't make much sense to me to make the replacement bracket with the same flaws, and that's about the only way that you're going to get the stock one to work, is to make the metal super thin, which then ultimately defeats the purpose. It's a good looking part, man. It definitely complements the Hasport mounts. And I think we're going to follow up this video replacing all of the mounts, because this is just totally jacked up. I can already tell that this mount is flat and broken. Why replace it with a stock one when we know we're going to be doing some spirited driving? I'm going to replace that with another Hasport mount. Bam! And then there is another one that replaces the one in the back. Now that we got it installed, we're going to put everything back together, get it on the road, and see how this thing feels. Minimal vibration right now. We still haven't put the stock, we still haven't done the other replacement mounts. This car is a stock DX, stock 1.5. It feels pretty good. I think it needs some shocks, but I think that's to be expected. I don't know when they've been replaced, if ever. Well, check this out. So this is the one transmission mount. I want you to look. Can you see the engine movement? Okay, so that's with the one mount. I do believe that the other mounts are broken. So we'll see how much movement is reduced by installing the other mount. Hey, we got it. All right, all 3 mounts are in. Let's go for a hot rod ride. We got some vibration, so we did a run with just the one mount, and now we have all 3. Now, chances are that it might calm down a little bit. We are hitting high RPM right now as we're warming up, but let's go for a cruise. Like I showed you earlier, watch this, but we're talking minimal movement compared to what it was before, man, and it feels much more stout and responsive. Like I get on the gear and boom, it's just right there. It's not jerking around like it was before. And now that it's starting to get a little bit warm, the engine, it just seems like less vibrating. Let's see. We're still at a high idle. It's still vibrating a little bit. but we're not completely warm yet. The idle is dropped. It's a little less tingy. As far as vibration goes, the vibration's still there, so that's just something that you're gonna have to decide if it's worth it to you or not. As far as how responsive it's being right now, I enjoy it. I hope that you would enjoy it. Man, it's been so long since I've driven a stock CRX. It might be about 15 years since I've driven a CRX like this. Wow. Well, I'm enjoying it, guys.